Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of
Litol Women!
Hi, I'm Yani.
Hi, I'm Alee.
I'm Myra.
And today we have a very interesting topic because this is something that we've been talking about as a family throughout this entire stay that we have together at home. So we'll be talking about social media through the ages. And when we say ages, we mean ages as in age, age, instead of age in terms of history. So that's what we have for today. And we wanted to talk about this because social media has become rampant, diba, in the work from home and the study from home situation. So it's something that has been taking a huge impact in our lives in the previous few months. So I want to ask you guys, how do you use your social media for the past few months? How was it?
Alright, so social media, the platform that I use is, I'm very familiar with Facebook. I'm very familiar with email. I don't know you guys if you still use that. Instagram, TikTok, I don't know. But I have accounts though. YouTube I have.
Okay, so my main that I use are like Facebook, Instagram. Is Messenger a social media?
Yeah,
I
it's a
us-
social media.
I usually use it for like communication for school, also for games, entertainment.
So for me, I use Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media except Friendster, Multiply, they don't exist anymore. So those are my social media accounts and we've been using it for the past, the months that have come. Why do you guys use your social media? Ali said for her studies. For me, it's because work has been on social media for me. And Yuma, why do you use your social media?
For Facebook, I used it for self-care. So that is how I get in touch with my friends through Messenger and also Viber pala. I also use it. But other things I don't really care. The thing is, it seems that I have to familiarize myself. So that's why I'm kind of struggling with the other platforms.
What other platforms do you struggle with?
I really don't want to look like I'm not a techie.
I don't think you're alone, Ma.
Okay.
People can relate to what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, that word techie, right? So Instagram, but I have the account since way like 2 years ago, I think.
Really?
Yeah, the reason that I have
No.
I think so, but
No.
I don't post because I don't get it. I mean, I'm so used to Facebook, and then so when they introduce new platforms for me for this kind of postings, at the beginning, my difficulty actually is that I feel like I should do it like Facebook, but I don't know, they have different ways.
Do you need to have an account in all the platforms, do you think? Or why did you make a different account if you don't wanna pursue like understanding the social media platform?
Because people are talking about it. Okay, so I don't know if you call it pressure. At my age, do we admit that we have like peer pressure pa ba? But it seems like when we get together, then they would talk about, oh, he's posted like that in Instagram. So somehow, oh, it's Instagram. But since I have the gadget, why don't I get into it? So I signed in, and then also Twitter. I
She doesn't tell us her Twitter account.
I
Mom,
know her Twitter.
yeah, Ali knows her Twitter account. She just doesn't tell me her Twitter account. So she can stalk without me knowing. Woo!
Okay, that's a different story.
Why?
Twitter account. I think I had it earlier than Facebook.
No, no.
I-
We all had Facebook at the same
I was
time.
just joking, but
So that's how social media affects you. It's like your friends kasi post on this platform so you want to see it. Ganun ba?
when everyone's talking about it, then I will
Yeah.
have to somehow get in the boat. I might fell off the
You might fell
No.
off the boat. Fell off the boat.
fall off the boat, and we go ashore na lang out of the river.
Hindi siya kasama sa yacht parties. How about you, Ali? How does social media affect you naman?
I think like seeing the posts of people. I'm not sure, but what I noticed in like my generation, it's usually like insecurities since a lot of people post about like what they like their version of their life gets. Like they mostly post about the good things in their life so people like compare themselves. But to me personally, I use it to widen my perspective and like gain more stuff. Yeah.
What do you mean by comparison? It affects you in that way, social media? Does it affect you in that way?
It used to affect me in that way,
Mm.
but like now I'm just like it's like my life, I want to do what I want. Yeah.
Does
I
it,
mean, like,
how about mom? Does it affect you like that, ma? Like comparing?
I'm sorry. I'm not into. I don't think it affects me. But somehow, I just post so that to let people know what my activities are,
Mm.
because I feel good about that activity, about that event. That's the reason why I post.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel good about my new hair, mga ganyan. But being pressured on how, like, on the things that I should show up
Yeah.
there, I'm
No?
not sure, not really. Siguro because of my aged.
Maybe you're
Among the two
beyond
of
that.
you.
I'm not sure if you guys have the same experience as my sister or my mom. Do comment it down below while she fixes her black hair. Tucks it in the back of her ear or something.
her wig.
Because she insists on a wig.
Wig
Because-
failing.
Okay, because I haven't really rooted my hair, the dye, so that's why I use this. It's easier.
If you guys want to see her actual hair, it's in the Great Conjunction video.
Oh, but that one, it was updated. I was able to dye it like 2 days before.
Okay. So for me naman, social media affects me like how it affects Alee then, like comparison. Although I really love it, I think I'm the most avid fan of social media here in the family because I research about it. I like understanding the algorithm, how it works, especially Instagram. But it's a double-edged sword, as they say. You can it can lead you to comparing yourself to other people and thinking that their life is the life that you should strive for or is the ideal life for you, how you should look like and other stuff like that. So it really affects us in different ways. And 'di ba we watched the social What's
the
that movie?
experiment, yung
what's that movie again?
Social dilemma.
The Social Dilemma. I think I got a lot of insights with that movie.
Yeah. I'm not sure, because I understand when you say that it could affect you, like what we watch, for example, like if you watch the other, like the celebrities showing off their houses. Somehow, of course, me, I would like, oh, it's so good to have those material stuff also to be living in that house, and then it would be my target house, my objective. But I don't know if it's, as we said, we balance it out. We know what's real and not, and it's not a goal.
I think it depends on how the person perceives or like accepts that information instead of like seeing it as something as like your goal. You could also do that so that you strive harder, but you could also see it as understanding that you don't need extravagant things to be able to live your life. You just need like maybe like what you think is important to you, like you value your friends, your family, like that. Yeah.
I'll give you a specific example, ha. For example, it's not really the material things. I think it's the experience that people put on social media. Like, right now, of course, we're at our homes, but sometimes I can't help but checking people who are traveling. And it kind of gives you... Sometimes I get, syempre, oh, you travel also. That's the effect then of social media. Not really striving for it, but it just gives you like an experience or a feeling of, I don't know, doubt or whatever feeling it gives. That's why in my social media sphere, I'd like to keep it real, as they say, so that not every, like, to give like pockets of reality or parang positivity or non-comparison with other people. That's what I like to keep my social media.
Oh, yeah, really? Because are you saying that when we look at other people's stuff in social media, like we compare, right? And then which side of the fence are we? I mean,
Yeah, it's
yeah, so do we compare, like we somehow get envious because they have traveled, or we feel the fun that they have traveled and we somehow also feel their experience?
Oh,
So
that's a good way.
yeah, feeling their experience, the not being jealous or feel that we are not at par with their with what they are
Yeah.
what they are doing.
Okay.
So it depends then, like how you take it. I think it really is like how people perceive it, like
React to it.
not falling into the pit of negative
Yeah,
emotion
but
or
it's
whatever.
easier said than done,
Yeah.
because we are the humanity down here
Yes.
in our smallness. We somehow feel those, and
Our faces.
we have to be kind of somehow, as long as we are, I think, aware
Yeah.
of how we feel, and that we can turn ourselves around if we feel that it's not healthy for me anymore.
Yeah, actually that's why I appreciate you guys or
Me
whatever.
or
You guys,
Guys,
kasama-
ano ba,
dalawa
Peter?
kayo.
Ano ba yan?
Si Dad kasi, he doesn't really use social media. So when we talk about it, it's like, we have to, crash course the entire internet. Pero when I'm with you guys and I talk about my feelings, that's how I air it out then. Like, I alleviate myself of my feeling or whatever. Ayan.
Another thing though, the reason why I don't get in Instagram, Twitter, I hopefully I could really get into the boat, is that I'm struggling with it. Twitter, I'm fine.
Mm-mm.
I'm fine reading, but I don't post. I don't know how to post. And then, okay, it's good that we have this platform, we have this topic. And then I asked the girls, nagsusumbong na ako, whoever's watching here. I asked the girls, how do you post this? How do nicely as I can? But I don't know, I don't get it. Can you tell me why you have difficulty teaching me how to post in Instagram and whatever ek?
So for me, we already taught you kasi once. But I don't like that you have to like it's okay to be like taught 3 times, but I want you to like input it in your
Permanent.
mind and heart, you
No,
know.
kasi with mom or I don't know for the generation of mom, please do comment down below. Let us know what your experience is with your kids or whatever the younger generation in your house and how they teach you and the younger generation din. Let us know how you teach your parents or whatever in their house kasi it's been
I'll tell
it's
you.
been an issue in
No,
the house.
I'll tell you how you teach me. I'll ask you this thing, and then you teach me so many things at one time, hoping that it will end. And then you push the button yourself. You don't want to push the button and then watch me, because I think you feel like it's taking too long.
But like, you know, when I was younger, you'd be like, I asked you the time, and then you're gonna be like, that's why you have a phone to check the time. So why don't you learn by searching in Google? That's why you have the iPad to search for your questions.
It depends din kasi our generation is more explorative, if that's a term, in terms of that. I think, I mean, we're so comfortable with social media. When there's a new app or a new gadget or whatever, we don't even read the instructions. I don't know with you guys watching if you guys read the instructions, but I will only read the manual as a last resort if I don't understand what's going on. But yeah,
I think it is because that they say the younger generations they can multitask. They can tweak their brains to do many things at the same time. But in our case, okay, let's say, as you said, why don't I Google it, right? So, okay, same as, what if I ask you, if you ask me about the meaning of one word, and then I'll just tell you, Google it. If you consult
Okay,
your
then
best
okay.
friend, Google.
I think
See? So, somehow, what?
Ay, sorry.
So,
Ang hirap nito, guys. Ang hirap.
So because it is convenient to ask someone who is there, right?
Yeah.
And then what I am asking for right now is that when someone asks you, this is the time for you to be patient. No? Not to be that virtue, patience. Because yes, the kids nowadays kasi they want everything right away. That's why they
Yes.
like Instagram, because the reactions are there right away, the results are there right away. So be patient. Also, practice that.
Yeah. Pero, I think, Ali, you just have to be more patient then. Pero when you are being taught, you absorb it. You try to absorb it na. Kasi it's the same question. Like, okay, we all handle the Little Women Instagram. So if you haven't followed it, go follow the Little Women Instagram. Pero, it's like a platform for mom then to understand the Instagram app. So, we kind of give her the reins with it. But when we have we have developed our own dynamic. And I don't know why, pero you just have to post it, ma. We already made the stuff. Just have to post it.
Yeah, okay. So, yes, the reason I understand and I accept the reason why you asked me to handle the Little Women Instagram, right? Just so that I will really learn from it. Yes, and then okay, not this one, but in many instances, I think I get it. When you give instructions, you are so fast, and then I didn't get the page 1 yet, and then you go to page 2, and then you are already in page 3, and I'm still in page 1. So, and then usually, like I don't know, for me or for my generation, one question you answer first this question before we go to the next. Give me the answer first. You know, I'll give you one. I ask one, you answer one. I ask two, you answer two. It seems to me that when I ask one, you go 1, 2, 3 right away.
Kasi we're also, we don't know the answer, to be honest.
We're just applying like social media common sense. Like if you see
We
like
just
that,
click. And then when
Don't
we get the
memorize.
answer, that's when we're like, oh, that's how you do it. And then we're just like, we don't even know how it's really actually done. Like, we were teaching mom how to do MS Teams. So, we don't know how to use MS Teams.
I've never heard of it, but okay.
But when mom would ask a question, we're like, okay, we go there and then we click and try to figure out the answer. So, when we end up in the answer na, di na namin ma-explain kasi we just click on it.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
that point. Yes.
So I think it's just really finding a compromise. I don't know it. This is such an interesting topic to talk about because, of course, we don't want to. The older generation wants to keep up with what's happening now, especially that we can't leave the house. Advertising, business stuff, they're all on social media. People are making websites, and as children of our mom, we also want her to keep up, be there, and maximize the platforms that was given to us. So we also try, to teach, but iba talaga yung learning
Wait lang.
ano namin.
I just realized I don't represent everyone in my age,
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah.
group, because I know there are also people in my age group that are very
Good.
adept with those platforms.
Yeah.
I'm just representing those who have difficulty getting in the boat.
Yeah. I think the disclaimer is this is all just our experience once again. And we're just relaying it to you. If you can relate, then that's so great. Please do comment it down below. If you have a different opinion naman, we'd love to hear it. So just type down below and then we'll get to those different experiences that you guys also have. So that's how we teach it. For you use it for business purposes now, getting into the business purposes.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm asking them to teach me MS Teams, because someone wants me to train using the MS Teams.
So just
Yeah.
your name sees Little Women. What?
But do you think among those platforms, do you have a favorite platform to use?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the use.
Yeah.
I'll go, Ali.
Really?
Messenger communication and Instagram is for like posting engagements, getting people. Yeah. Facebook is for like friends, like people I actually know. Yeah.
For me naman, it depends on the use, but I spend most of my time on Instagram. But it depends on the use. For Facebook, it's just like my world, memes. I share a lot of Netflix stuff. And I don't really think about, the content I post there. That's for my Facebook account, my private account. Tapos my Facebook page pa. Instagram is for the things that I'd like to, kwento to people. And now that we have YouTube, I'm actually enjoying it. Mom is kinda addicted to it na. She watches our videos or how many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
and other videos too.
yeah. So now, I think for us, it really depends on the use. Since they created different platforms na rin that specialize on a certain thing, on a certain need that humans have. Like TikTok, for people who just want really fast content. 1 minute lang, you just... On YouTube naman, people search for it because they want to learn how to do this, to do that, to that. So, yeah.
So you guys, so you're very comfortable. Can you say like you're very comfortable with the platforms that you're using, with the social media now, the ride of the social media?
What do you mean by
What's
comfortable?
Like, is it not like overtaking your lives?
No, I don't think so. I mean, what else would you do in quarantine? Like, like, right? What are we gonna, like, what do we
Yeah.
do here? I mean, like, baking, yeah, sure, hobbies and stuff, but it's not like you do that 24/7. And I think since it's online, mostly online, we don't have, like, physical friends here. That's a way that we can connect.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think for me, because like for my hosting and other rackets and other jobs, they're all on social media talaga. Like I have to watch the news, I have to all on social media. I cannot escape from it. So instead of like being, oh, I'm on social media again, I'm like, oh yeah, let's just maximize it. Learn about it, you know, be updated on all of the updates and stuff like that. Just have fun.
Yeah, have fun, no? Because somehow I don't know if it's just me, because I don't know if it's going to result into somehow the others, like they feel not very comfortable because it might show too much of their personal lives. Yeah, and then diba before this came, before the quarantine, even at school, they would tell the parents that to also balance the social media of their kids, to balance not to let the kids use the Wi-Fi like 24/7. So parang I have this as a parent, I also have this parang in my mind, if I am really, if I am too lenient or too open for you using social media, or should I step back already? Because as you said, what do we do during the quarantine? And as we are everyone now is doing online classes.
As like a parent, I think it's okay at the moment. Like, if you guys ask us for a favor, we still go to you and we help you. Unlike those other people that are like, you know. So I think we're not like addicted to it, but it does take up most of our time.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a debate that can be resolved. Right? I think it takes a lot of research then, like the effects. Pero kasi when the research before, I think it isn't too applicable na rin now, since because of the lockdown, people have been using it 24/7 or whatever, and there's nothing else to do. I remember in the start of the lockdown, they said you have to social distance, but you can't parang socially distance, like from people, like keep on interacting with them, keep on messaging them. Because with the physical distancing, that's the term pala that they wanted to adopt instead of social. You really don't have connection aside from the other people in your house. And more unfortunately for people who don't have the privilege of spending, the lockdown with other people in a comfortable area. So this is why the podcast was. Why the podcast was.
It seems that we really cannot avoid going using the social media, like doing things virtually. So it seems like this is the point in which we have to really like the technology is really putting everyone to move forward. For me, because I've been thinking, if after here, then do we go back again to the normal, virtual connections, virtual reality connections?
Yeah.
It seems like it won't be.
Yeah.
For me, this is the start of all those technologies out there, like virtual reality, even artificial intelligence, genetics, mga ganyan. So it seems that somehow we have to find the balance of getting into the boat and using it
Yeah.
not sacrificing our integrity.
Yeah. Yeah. So there really is. I think it's also like a sword. It can only kill if it depends on the wielder.
Oh.
And it will defend depending on the wielder. It's like in Lord of the Rings, like the ring, it will only be active if depending on the wielder. So like I think that depends then on social media, how you use it and how you let it affect you. I really want to if you haven't watched The Social Dilemma, I really it's an eye opener. And we had to sit down and talk about it talaga. So maybe you'd like to check that out and watch it and see for yourself and come back to this podcast and comment down below what your insights are. So I think that's a really good way to lead people to other siguro perspectives then and to give you guys a way to understand social media in the perspective of the people who actually made it. So
Yes.
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's kind of awakened.
Eye opening.
Yeah, or it's kind of making people woke.
Okay.
To
Okay.
Slang.
if they watch it.
Okay, slang.
So, but I would suggest that you watch it together with your kids if you are with them or
Yeah.
That's what we did there because there are times that I zone out, and then I have to ask them what's happening. Let's
Yeah, I think
you need to zone out.
it's a good conversation piece with your, with the younger and the older generation kasi you get to understand it. You have this talking point that you both experience together, like watching it together, and you're able to parang mediate your experiences through that talking point. So that's a really good way to do it. Pero for me, I think my social media New Year's resolutions will be to find hacks on social media to like let me relax a bit from it then and to live because it really fatigues my eyes, guys. Like,
Physically, no, there's fatigue.
yeah,
Also,
it's not natural for bodily whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the eyes.
Yeah.
So, like we found a way. Actually, I found a way on how they can relax their eyes.
What?
No, no. The advice is just to look at the greens outside. right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, balance, I think that's something that we can all agree on. Balancing, knowing the platform, and it depends on your perspective and how you react to what you see on the platform and how it affects you then. So, parang patatagan to ng loob. Patatagan? Is that the word? Patatagan?
Patagtagan.
Like,
Huh?
like to strengthen? Paano palakasan?
That's what I really want to avoid Yung parang it's a rat race.
Right.
It's a
Parang-
competition?
Yeah, parang it's so, as long as the people can, as we said, balance, no? Because if we say patagtagan ng loob,
Oh my gosh, commented.
sorry I'm Bisaya kasi. So, palakasan ng loob. Parang rat race. So, I really don't want it to be, sana we are not living in a rat race, no? That is one thing that we also have to kind of thinking na, oh, we are staying in the house for so long. At least yung rat race ng city life has avoided for some time. That we are quarantined. But of course, there are lots of disadvantages.
Social media is a wonderful but could also be a not so wonderful aspect, and it really depends on how a person sees it and how they'll use that to their advantage or how it could be disadvantageous to them. So we can't really blame anyone or anything. It's just based on how you perceive it and how you see it.
For me, as we said, it's a double-edged sword. But we have no choice. We have to ride the tide. But when we ride the tide, we also should still it would not sacrifice also our physicality, our time being together, and also the truth and integrity of a person.
Something that I want to emphasize before we end this podcast is to always understand that on social media, it's just a slice of someone else's life. And we have to understand the situation that they're coming from, especially pag news and you see those stuff. Read the article or whatever. Don't just rely on the caption or something. So, that's something that we try to, like, it's just an extra click and it's just an extra 5 minutes to really understand the situation. So, that's something that I also try to practice now because nagiging rampant na yung people just read the caption and then you're like, ha, ganun na. Tapos yung pala in the article, iba na pala siya.
The title.
Yeah, Twitter has this, would you like to read the article? Ganun, meron silang disclaimer na ganun before you retweet or quote tweet article. So, that's good.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for this wonderful discussion. Thank you for listening also to our social media through the ages talk that we had here today. Again, we are Little Women. You can follow us on our social media at Little Women on Instagram. I'm Yani.
It's Alee.
Myra.
And we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Again, we are Little Women!